Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Elden Ring walkthrough. So, first thing we need to do for today is buy just one stone sword key. So that was actually not a true statement. We need 4 total stone sword keys in this episode. I know for sure we pick up at least one later, but just to save yourself a headache, buy like 3 of them while you're running around between the merchants. Basically what happened is when I moved around some parts of the guide to make sure we knocked out some quest lines a little bit earlier, kind of what I was telling you about in the last couple episodes, my whole stone sword key count just got a little thrown off, but you should have plenty to buy from merchants if you've been following along with the guide. The Twin Maiden Husks have a few, if you've already bought those. I know there's a few at the merchant here that we got in one of the last episodes, but if you check, if those are gone too, you just check random merchants around the world marked on your map. I'm sure you'll find one. But I reordered some stuff in the guide over the last few episodes, so we got kind of off track, and now we don't have enough stone sword keys to go around. But anyway, let's go to Abandoned Coffin. Right here. Actually, on the topic of buying things, I also mentioned this when we first encountered that particular merchant right here, that he sells something called the Sentry Torch for 7,000 runes, I believe, and it's going to allow you to see an invisible enemy in the cave that we're about to clear. It's an invisible black knife assassin boss. It's really not as bad as it sounds, but if you want to make it even less bad, then you can grab that torch and just keep it out while you're fighting. And but if you have any ability that takes the form of like a wide horizontal sweeping attack, to, you know, anything that could hit something that you know is next to you, maybe you don't know exactly where it is, but you know it's close, then you should be fine. Spells or Ashes of War with a pretty large hitbox, stuff like that would be great. It's really not a bad fight at all. You can still see the footsteps to gauge its location. You'll probably be fine without the torch. But if you're using like small projectiles or, I don't know, like a bow run, well, I guess you can't have the torch in your offhand with a bow. I don't know. If you're doing a bow only run, you're used to the suffering by now, so you'll be fine. We're just gonna cross this lake and go back into this right corner here. Right on into Sage's Cave. Grab the Grace, pop on a lantern, and go through the illusory wall. Skeleton up ahead. Another illusory wall here. Some lost Ashes of War. Rejuvenating boluses. And then down here to where all the shiny things are. Golden Rune 5. Golden Rune 5. Some silver fireflies. And then to the left here between these two fires is another illusory wall. There's going to be 4 skeletons immediately behind this one. So, be ready. Ow. I hate this so much. Just keep hitting the wall with my sword. And down they go. Alright, then we can crack open all these chests here. Get a bunch of loots. You could obviously use the Margit Shackle trick to dispel all of the illusions at once if you wanted to. I'm doing it this way because it's just easier for me to keep track of everything. Writing down where to go gets kind of overwhelming and exhausting when there are just a ton of different exits to every room. And it's also nice to not get jumped by 4 skeletons while you loot these runes over here. But anyway, keep continuing on through the cave. With some more skeletons. That one's a big one. Oh, you have a crossbow. These guys both have crossbows, I forgot. And then one more. He's staring at an illusory wall as well. Stone sword key. And then even more chests. The raptor talons. Alright, and then in here, careful off to the left, there's a little gap to jump. And then we'll go down into this left cave first. Illusory wall, of course. Get the raptor's black feathers. Go ahead and just put this armor on now, I know you're going to. Another illusory wall. And time for the boss. So this guy's pretty straightforward. He can be a problem if you give him room to breathe. He'll start casting a bunch of sorceries. These skull snail things are gonna hop in throughout the fight, but this guy, as long as you just keep on him, he doesn't have very much health, so I would just opt for high aggression and kind of try to kill him before he has a chance to fight back. You get the family heads from that. One of the few flails in the game. Sorry, 1 second. My computer just froze. Alright, we're back. Anyway, back in the waterfall room here. On to the other boss, which is the more problematic one. So in your offhand, if you have the sentry torch, go ahead and throw that on. You don't have to have the stats to wield it. You can just... like, we're not going to fight with it. We're just using the light, right? So with this, you basically neutralize the only gimmick with this fight, so you won't have a problem at all. If you don't have this, you're going to want to keep a close eye on the ground. There are constant droplets falling from the ceiling to kind of throw you off as they splash in the water. And in the heat of the moment, it can be a little confusing, but there's a pretty noticeable difference in how the assassins' like footstep splashes look versus the water droplets. Not to mention, the assassins are going to mention, or they're going to form a trail coming straight at you. And then if you're like over on land, you should be able to also see them just like kicking up dust when they walk around. But the whole fight's pretty much going to be hit and run if the boss is invisible. Just figure out which direction they're coming from, try to time your attack, and they'll pretty much always dodge away immediately. I mean, you've seen how the assassins fight when you can see them. Sometimes they'll dodge before you attack, sometimes right after. If you're quick, you can just kind of stand your ground, but sometimes I think it's easier to run around a bit after she dodges away, because as long as you don't run straight at her, that would be bad luck. Then you'll have a little extra time to figure out where she is, but I mean, that involves a bit of luck too, I suppose. Either way, just rinse and repeat until she's dead. And actually, I'm pretty sure summons don't know that she's invisible. So if you summon something... oh, nice. What a wonderful way to start the fight. If you summon something, I think they just, like, keep chasing after her, so... if you killed Electo in the last episode, this shouldn't be a problem at all, though. Same fight, but easier. I guess if I turn this off, let's see, disappears. Can't keep lock on, but you can see those little splashes in the water running up on me. And I got backstabbed. So, you know, that's super annoying, which is why I prefer to use the torch if I have it. You can hear it too a little bit. There you go. Drops the Concealing Veil Talisman, which I actually don't remember what that does off the top of my head. Conceals wearer while crouching away from foes. That makes perfect sense. Alright, so warp back to Abandoned Coffin after that fight is done. And this time we're going to run northwest. Oh, another thing while I'm thinking about it. The beast repellent torch. Have that out. Wolves don't really bother us. Still not a fan of us being here, but they're chilling. If I put it away, now they attack. It's gonna be really awkward if they continue to be chill. Teardrop, Scarab, Ash of War, Sacred Order. And on to the ruins. Alright. Got some flowers. Some perfumers to deal with. Buffing up all the other flowers. All that for what? Alright, and then the next archway directly ahead leads into a building with an omen killer inside. So instead of going through the door, sneak over here and try to get a backstab. You're gonna aggro this other perfumer probably, but... Oh, that just killed you, okay. We're getting strong. Stop that. Off to the left in this broken window thing. Golden Rune 5. Perfume bottle right in the middle. Perfumer's Cookbook 1. Take you two out. Then we got a big one to deal with here. Don't do it. Another perfume bottle on the ledge. Then behind the flower, got a nascent butterfly, right the floorboards. And open the chest for the Perfumer's Talisman. Finally, one more corpse over here. And we can actually run to the next place from here. So this path off to the right is going to take us down to the catacombs, as you can see by that statue up there. But first, there's a bunch of flowers. Okay, I can't reach you from Torrent. And a perfumer. Kind of annoying. I have Flame Cleanse me on, so I'm just going to send it actually. But a ton of Michaela's lilies around here. There we go. Alright, cool. And now, actually on the topic of flowers, there's one more over here. Or plant. Come down here to the left. Materia leaf, and then back to the catacombs. Need a couple stone sword keys. One enemy straight ahead, one off to the right. And there's gonna be a couple big ones patrolling in here. Crouch and wrap around to the side though, and usually sneak up on the other one as well. And down the stairs, watch off to the right. Okay. The next room. Got some dogs to deal with. Or a dog. And this guy. The Grave Glovewort 5. Sneak up on this dude. And then down here there's a bunch of sleeping enemies, so I'm gonna drop down and deal with that. Some of them are forever sleeping. Get the winged misbegotten ashes, another ghost gloveworts, another grave gloveworts, and then up the stairs, pull the lever for the boss. Alright, there's an omen straight across, so crouch, sneak around the left side, rune arc on the way, and just swing right and you should be able to get a backstab. Knock him down there. Grab the prattling pate. Apologies. And put him down. And then the up the stairs is where we hopped off a second ago, so we've already been that way. So on to the boss. Alright, so Perfumer Trisha is going to be the priority since she's a lot squishier and will buff the other enemy, but as you can see, she's going to die very quick, so you just want to kite around this guy. I like to not be locked on so I can turn my camera and keep him in the corner of my eye. And then once she's dead, we've definitely fought a few of these before. Very susceptible to jumping attack spam, except for a couple of their attacks that they have some hyper armor on. Ow. Ow. Bruh, I can't get any stamina. Oh my god. Alright, that's enough out of you. Yeah, if you can get some stamina, then as we've covered before, you can kind of just spam jumping attacks and they get staggered pretty much always unless they're doing like that roar if they're enraged, or like one of their jumping attacks. Usually those have lots of hyper armor on them. But after that, you get the Perfumer Trisha Ashes, and go ahead and read the item description on those ashes, because if I have to feel like a bad person, then so do you. But actually, she's a really cool summon, because she basically plays a support role, does what she just did in that fight, which involves giving you free Opaline bubbles, which reduce the damage on the next hit you take by 90%. That's why when we attacked that thing and it had the little bubble over it, my first slash basically didn't do anything, but it popped the bubble, and then we were doing normal damage after that. Usually you'd only get one of those bubbles from drinking your Wondrous Physic, if you decided to mix Bubble Tier into it, which, you know, you might not. And on top of that, you also get a 10% physical damage buff. Fun fact, I know a lot of people don't use the perfumes in this game whatsoever, so if you didn't know, she's actually using the Uplifting Aromatic, which is something you can craft and use yourself. It has that combination effect of an Opaline bubble and an attack buff. It is slightly expensive material-wise to craft though, so it's nice that she can just give them out for free when you summon her. Anyway, warp to Altus Highway Junction. And we are going to run towards the second Church of America, where Yura was. Now in this next area, there are a lot of enemies that can inflict the Death Blight status effects. Fairly large AoE that they do it with too, so equipping the Prince of Death's, what's it called? It's a weird word. Pustule. Raises vitality, so that can help resist the Death Blight a bit. Alright, so that is Mirage Rise. Make a mental note of where that is, because it's going to disappear in a second. Yeah, I'll just grab that while I'm here. Why not? Touch the sigil. The imps should despawn. There you go. Over here, it's the enemy I was talking about. Just gonna grab the Mikola's Lily and leave him alone. And then the tower was somewhere around here. Take that sigil. And then interact with statue. It says touch 3 phantom crests and you get the Mirage riddle little map, which you can actually see everything we really need to see in that picture right there, but I'll open up the big one to show you. This doesn't make quite as much sense if you approach this place the direction that we just, or from the direction that we just did, because you get 2 of those X's knocked out before we even see the riddle and understand what's going on, but that's fine. So the last one there, down at the bottom, you can see is right before a big broken crumbling bridge. It's a little harder to find, but that can be that problem can be solved pretty easily by watching a walkthrough, among other things. So I'm gonna run through here. There's gonna be 3 guys marching around this teardrop scarab. Try to sneak in here and grab that. If possible. Oh, they got it. I didn't know they could hit it. Somber Smithing Stone 5, and then run over here to the Grace. Alright, and then this hill, straight, well, not straight ahead, I was looking straight at it, to the southeast, south I guess. It's gonna be an imp right here, it spawns in. Up to the left, see the big bridge in front of us, and this rock, the very subtle blue glow coming out of the bottom. It is an illusion. You can dispel it with Margit Shackle. It makes it a whole lot easier to find, but I wanted to show you what it looks like without doing that first. And that should be all three. Also, I guess while we're here, a couple of items might as well grab. It's this weird ambush in here. I'm gonna ruin that for you guys and just steal your item. And actually, I think everything else, item-wise, is accounted for a bit later in the notes. But we're gonna make our way back to where we saw the giant tower earlier and where that imp statue was. It is no longer a mirage. Grab the unseen blade and unseen form sorceries and some slumbering dragon eggs, and then we are back to Altus Highway Junction again. Actually, no. Go to Forest Spanning Great Bridge if you have that. If you didn't get that for some reason, just follow this path over from the highway junction, but got this in one of the last episodes. Alright, so we took this waygate 4. I pointed out Gold Mask's existence, but now we're gonna go talk to him. Alright, so obviously I cut the video and I just came back to these guys just staring at me. It's a good thing they don't walk like 5 more feet, otherwise I would have been dead. But when you spawn in, turn around and go speak to Gold Mask at the end of the bridge. And he doesn't say anything, but that's fine. We just needed to find his location. Grab the dragon wound grease, and then... let's see. We skipped a couple steps here, so skip ahead in my notes since we've been through here before. Yeah, just warp back to talk to Corin now. Those guys are not chill like the other ones. I know that for a fact. Alright, speak to him, tell him Gold Mask's whereabouts. And then he will now sell... I lied. He sells it when he moves. Alright, so now warp to the Forest Spanning Great Bridge again. Don't know why I mounted up. Use the waygate. I don't know why I got the grace while I was here. I did that last time. I had to walk away for a second. That's why I cut the video and I forgot. So just drop down below the bridge. Pick that up, and then over here there's a spirit spring that'll take us right back to the end of it. Just like that. Speak to Corin again.
Have no fear, though we must do so.
About Gold Mask.
Though I know that the golden...
And now he adds the Discus of Light incantation. Buy it sooner rather than later if you want it for sure. Just gonna pick it up. I've got the runes. I understand not everyone's rune portfolio is as impressive as mine. But you know, my rune day trading and all that's been going well. Now let's make a sketchy move. You can do this, you can do it the smart way or you can do it my way. So, smart way is to go to Bower Bounty, I think that's how you say that, and just walk around the corner to the cave that you can see here on the map. My way, way cooler, but very high chance of death. Almost missed a lump of flesh, that would have been terrible. Alright, so if you drop off nearly anywhere along these cliffs, you will die. But can be done. Slowly, I just reset my progress. Carefully, just get a little lower until you're safely at the bottom. That's one of those ones that makes me so mad, like, I've for sure fallen farther than that in this game and lived. But in this particular place, it kills you. Alright, now, can't remember if there's anything off to the left, and I don't want to scroll down to find out. There's nothing. Cool. Now we rest. Now I scroll down the notes. So, first room to the right. Got a couple enemies. Just little pesky avianet dudes. Smithing Stone 5. And a rune arc. Crystal darts, and a bunch of cracked crystals to make more crystal darts. Alright, now there's going to be just a whole lot of smithing stones to pick up in this room, and some actual enemies up on the top level, and some miners that won't really bother you unless you bother them on the bottom level. There's all three of them dead. Handle this guy. It's like a really skinny smithing stone right here. I don't know why it looks like that. I was blocking. Absolute cheater. Some Arteria leaves. And I think that's all the smithing stones in here. Cool. Alright, now off to the right. Got this not falling star, malformed star. Grab that golden rune 7 and then hop down. And there's a platform down below here which has like something stupid. It's just a cracked crystal or something, or no, it's a glintstone scrap, that's what it is. So go up for the arsenal charm and then just ignore the bottom platform. Get attacked by a couple of snails down there, and for what? And then I guess while you're in there you could kill that malformed star if you really wanted to, if you had some ranged attacks, but we'll actually reach him in one of the locations we go to later in this video, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Okay, that's pretty much it. So now time for the boss. A couple of Crystallians, same as the previous encounters with them, break their poise, and then their body will be visibly cracked, and you can go in for normal damage. Disc one has like these ranged attacks, so normally I'd recommend taking him out first, but sometimes the spear one will just non-stop spam that attack right there and just not leave you alone. So I would really recommend just taking out whichever one is pressing you the most. You can also backstab them even before you break their poise. Just waiting so respectfully. Yeah, he's just straight up depressed that his friend died. Alright, cool. And they will give you the Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 2. Let you purchase Somber Smithing Stone 3 and 4s from Twin Maiden Husks at Round Table Hold. And now, actually from this one we will return to entrance. Can run to the next spot. So back outside and just keep running forward to the north. I almost missed it. Wait, did I miss something? Okay, this is the first section of ruins. It snuck up on me. You can honestly just ignore these guys. I just hate them and want them to die. I'd say it's nothing personal, but it definitely is. Alright, and then when you're ready, hop down into the basement. Get the Wrath of Gold incantation. And then keep going north. There's going to be a few random items to grab on the way. This first corner, some poison bone darts. Up by these slugs. Soft cotton. Invigorating white cured meat. And go all the way into this northernmost ruin. The slugs, if their spit lands on you, can see this like slime dripping off of me. It actually makes you move slower. It'll do like a heavy roll until it wears off. So I don't like to fight in here for that reason, because there are a lot of slugs and chances are you're going to get hit like so. I don't even know why I hopped off Torrent, to tell you the truth. But go in there, grab the icon shield and the gravel stones, and then I'm off the scene personally. And then over to the west, southwest over here. One more set of ruins. Got some beast blood. Teardrop Scarab. Ash of War Golden Slam. Let's deal with this guy. And be careful outside, because the minor Erd tree is right above us and the boss is right outside. Also grab the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 19 there, and then hop outside and deal with the boss. But yeah, he's right there. It's just a giant one of these worm face guys. See that movement on the horizon there? Little Erdtree guardian dudes. Those guys with the spears that'll like poison you. So just kind of be aware that they exist. The boss can and probably will kill them if they get involved, but let's get to it. Boss is pretty straightforward. He's got like huge clouds of that death blight inflicting whatever you want to call it. And he's got like this triple grab attack where he'll just like 3 times in a row try to hug you. Don't let him. Go, killed the little minion. Oh, I'm standing right in that. So you do want to actually stay close to him and like not in front of him, because otherwise he'll keep spewing this stuff, but I was just trying to pull him away from the little guardian guys. Beautiful. As you saw there, they are quite literally called worm faces. But you get the Crimson Spill Crystal Tear from him and the Speckled Hard Tear. I don't know what this guy's problem is. Alright, so, I totally forgot what this item is, and I don't think I wrote it down. Don't deathblade me! I just want the item. This is real sketchy all of a sudden. Lump of flesh, of course. What else would it be? So yeah, from the boss that we just killed, just kind of go north up this hill. And it's hard to see in the fog, but there is a golden tree right here. See if I can open my map here. That's where it is on the map. Kind of, if you draw a line between the ruins and that bridge, I guess. But once you grab that, keep going up the hill towards these windmills. And I'm gonna kind of run through here, because we'll be back in a moment. But hop up here to the right. Poison grease there on the stairs. Keep going up the hill. And grab the Grace. And we're gonna skip Dominula Windmill Village here for a bit. I will try to remember to explain why later. It'll all make sense eventually. But for now, we're going to clear out these pastures. So go northwest a bit. Well, just right here, actually. There's gonna be a bunch of dogs and misbegotten around here. Some raw meat dumplings, a whole lot of them too. There we go. Alright, then from here you can run southwest. It's a big stone platform up ahead. Super weird route we're running right now, and I honestly have no explanation for you. Get the protection of the Erdtree incantation, and then Gonna wrap around here. Need to get up high again, so we'll use the Spirit Spring. Onto the bridge. Got this battle mage up here. Get his robes, well, everything really, and the Haima glintstone crown. And then jump back up. Keep going west over to this last windmill over here. Take out the giant rat. Dude, what was I cooking when I plotted this path? So strange. Wrap around here to try to sneak up on the big rat. And our reward, the giant rat ashes. And now we go back east. There's all these creepy dancing women. Grab the noble sets. Trying to get that other item, my guy. Navy hood there as well. And the twin knight swords. And then try to warp away. By the time we leave combat, we'll probably be basically all the way back here anyway. Yeah, still in combat. Alright, well then just stay on the path and keep running in that case. We circled back around basically to where that grace is. And we're going to follow the path up the hill towards Lanedale. Look over to the right, there's going to be a golden seed at some point. Nice, that's what we love. Found the golden seed though, so it's all worth it. All of our struggle and sacrifice. Alright, now we need to get up to that tower to the left. So keep running, avoiding the catapults. Yes! Don't avoid the catapults. Nice, that was super satisfying. Get the Ash of War Lightning Slash from that Teardrop Scarab. And I'm just gonna keep running. Try to ambush me, but I ambush you. On into the tower. Some hefty beast bones. There's definitely one above us. I feel like there might be one below us too. Off the tower you go. Oh, he stayed. Nope, he's gone. Crack open the chest for the great bow and a bunch of great arrows, and then we can go back down. Alright, so now whenever you can, we're gonna drop back onto this road to the right. Don't want to risk it and go too early. This should work. Alright, and then cut right, and there was like a fork in the road over here. Split off to the right. I hate this game. Here we go. Hop on this path. No survivors. Leave that one alive to tell the tale. Alright, off to the right. This guy enjoying the view, having a good time. Can't have that. Somber Smithing Stone 5. Alright, and then you can go up here into this ruin. It's gonna be a sad little dude in the corner with the heart of a lion. I fall for that every time. As usual, it's going to give us a larval tier. And then basically just follow this path. Drop down to the right for some golden runes on the way. Can you just grab it, dude? Like, please. Oh my god, if I get poisoned, I'm suing you. Unbelievable. Alright, back up to the road. And straight ahead somewhere, I'm not seeing it yet for some reason. There's a grace, there you are. Alright, now up on this plateau, straight ahead, is a whole lot of lightning if you hadn't noticed. And we don't want to deal with the thing that's bringing all that lightning, so we're gonna kind of avoid that, but in like a heroic, non-cowardly way. Almost missed the item. Golden Rune 6. There's a couple more things down here to the right. Golden Rune 3. And silver pickled foulfoot. And then take the spirit spring up top. Don't go into the opening on the right. Immediately go left and down the hill. It's going to be a dragon fight there, so we'll be back for that at the end of Altus when we do the field bosses and whatnot. Kill you for the Ash of War Lightning Ram, which makes your character do that, and it's really funny, and I like it a lot. He's not going to give up, is he? Oh, he got me. Well played. More golden runes. Alright, cool. And then down to Stormcaller Church. It's gonna be a night out front, and then if you go through the front door, these guys will just ambush you with lightning pots from both sides, so the service entrance on the side is definitely safer. Get the Dragon Bolt Blessing lightning great bolts, and another sacred seer, and a bunch of gravel stones around here also if you want them. Cool. And then up top where we just were, might actually have to deal with you. Alright, so there's a Black Knife Assassin guarding the entrance to this cave. Probably pretty tired of fighting these by now. Understandably so. Pretty much a standard Black Knife Assassin fight. The main difference is this one's just stronger than most of the ones we've previously encountered. Not stronger than Electo, I would say, but like the one in the cave we just fought earlier, definitely stronger than that one, but it's not invisible. There are no other gimmicks really. I don't know why you would want to fight this on horseback because they're so hard to hit as it is, but if you wanted to, don't. The like death magic projectile they have will knock you off of torrent, and then the boss can follow you up with a crit while you're laying helplessly on the ground. It's super embarrassing. Don't ask me how I know that they can do that. It's not important right now. So we're just gonna do this now. You can summon, as you can see, and if you take it back to about where we were just fighting, it'll usually despawn and reset back to here. It does not get the heal, as usual when a boss despawns from being too far away. So what you can actually do is use that to your advantage if you're a caster, because as you'll quickly find out, you actually have a lot less health than I remember you having. Yeah, as you'll quickly find out if you're a caster using any kind of ranged attack, these things will just continuously sidestep them. So you can kind of like reset it and it'll go back to standing over there, and then you can get a free hit on it with like your strongest sorcery before it like properly starts the fight again, you know, when he's doing a little slow edgelord walk towards you. But kill him, he drops the Black Knife, which despite having that golden background to it, does not count as a legendary armament for some reason. It's also very, very significant in the lore. Still doesn't count as legendary. It's very strange. What can you do though? So, it's gonna be a hero's grave, which typically means giant pain. This one's really not that bad though. I think pretty much every other one is significantly worse. But while you're here at this grace, I would throw on a heal incantation if you can. Got enough golden seeds to get another flask, sacred tear to reinforce it. But there's going to be a couple of revenants in this area. Oh, what? My math was wrong. There's no way. This can't be. What did I miss? There's a stone sword key somewhere. I must have missed it. Alright, well, back to buy more stone sword keys. This really isn't my fault. I told you in episode 1 that I got through the game without having any issues with stone sword keys. But after I wrote the guide, I started rearranging the order of some things for quest lines. So that, you know, as I explained a couple episodes ago with the whole Celivis situation, just don't want you guys to fail a quest line just because I put it off for so long. So I bumped some stuff up in the order of things we were going to tackle. Unfortunately, our victim was a stone sword key. We should have 2 now, right? Tell me I wasn't off by 2. Was I really off by 2? Or wait, no. That thing had 1 in its forehead, right? I think it did. So I was only off by 1 still. I'm gonna level up again. Damn, our dexterity is already 60. Do I keep going? Get some more endurance, I guess. Why not? back to... Literally, where were we? Oh, the hero's grave, that's right. Kill the Wraith Caller. Crimson Seed Talisman. And then you get this little stone tablet thing here. Shadow bathes in light and knows weakness. So there's your hint for how to complete this dungeon. We also picked up that note from one of the merchants before. That says... Okay, I didn't actually buy it, but pretty sure it's at this merchant right here. That also gives you that hint about like Rozus's light. But I'll explain what all that means here in like 2 seconds. For now, just run up here. Kill the Wraith Callers. And then down here, there's going to be a Revenant, so have heal ready. A couple of those should do the trick. Grave Glove 4 to 5. Revenant drops a 4. Or Ghost Glove 4. And then, oh, actually, sorry, I missed something. It's not really important, but... This was an illusory wall. And there's not a whole lot you can do up here, but... You got the Shadow Imp down here, and then you got a regular Imp in the light. So that's what the thing was hinting at. Basically, you just... Stop that. You need to pull the Shadow guys into the light for the shadow to go away, because if you try to attack the shadow things, they don't take any damage, so... Just take him out, and then really conveniently, when they touch the light, they get stunned. So remember that, because that'll be really helpful in about 2 seconds. Drop straight down, quickly take this enemy out, and then imps will be on you immediately. So pull them over to the light ring again. And if 2 at a time come over to you, you can just use the iframes from getting the crit on the first one, so... Very, very handy. Here we got a Grave Glovewort, Ghosts, or sorry, Grave Violets, and then you can head through this hallway. Alright, so the floor is going to collapse in here if you go into that sandy part in the middle. So wrap around the edge to get the Lanedale Soldier Ashes, and then when you step on the floor you're going to be surrounded by 4 Shadow Imps, but you land in a circle of light, so it's fine. Just try to time this out so that you can use these, just chain these crits together. Thin out the hurt a bit. So you only get that stun the first time they come into the light. After they're normal, they don't care about the circle. Alright, and then in one of these corners, there's a Grave Glovewort 3. Alright, so there are 3 guillotines and a whole lot of rotting corpses. And really this whole scene just gets more problematic the harder you look. So run through here. Grab the Grave Glovewort 4, and then ride either the first or the second guillotine up to the top. I'm not succeeding right now. Okay, get it together. Lock in, jump on the guillotine. It's not going well. If you push me... Oh, dude, I was gonna scream. Full-on temper tantrum was about to happen. Alright, now hop over here. Run up here and deal with these guys. And then you can either continue going that way or backtrack here. Either way is gonna basically lead you back to the same place. Well, that top... Dude, there's no way. What went wrong? Alright, so here we are back in this room with a stone sword key. So you got the Grave Glove Ward 5 in here, but much more importantly, Dragon Crest Talisman, or Shield Talisman +1. So now, what I was saying, up here, this will bring you back to that room with the collapsing floor, which will of course lead you back over to the guillotine room, or you can just backtrack the way we came to get back to the guillotine room. I rolled, dude. Everyone saw my character move forward. Alright, there's a mounted wraith collar around here. Absolutely horrifying. Put a stop to that immediately. Ow. Can't believe that didn't kill me, honestly. Grave Glove Wart 3. There's going to be a Revenant immediately to our left, so be prepared for that. I have 2 heals queued up. Ghost Glove Wart 4 from that, Grave Glove Wart 5, some human bone shards, and then refill your FP if you need to cast 2 more heals, because we're going to go up here, and when we come back, there's going to be another Revenant in that room for some ungodly reason. Get the prattling pates, let's get to it. And I'm just gonna sneak past this guy, grab the Ghost Glove Warts, and then we need to lure him back to Source of Light. So we're gonna take him all the way back to where we landed on that light circle, the collapsing floor. And you don't actually have to come back in here, but he gives you a Ghost Glove Wart 4, so... Oh, I ran out of stamina. This is horrible. Okay. I planned ahead for the FP. I told you to replenish it, but I didn't think about the stamina. So anyway, we're gonna take this guy, and we're gonna drop off the edge with him. Watch out for the guillotines. And then he likes to be kind of annoying up here. You usually have to like bait him into attacking you in the circle, otherwise he'll just keep trying to back off like that. There we go. Goes down, get the crit. And that is actually the key to opening the boss door, so unfortunately you have to do that. I did it again. I literally thought I just saw that thing go down. Alright, so probably the worst boss to have only 6 flasks left, but that's plenty, let's be honest. Don't let this guy grab you. Weirdo. Another grave gloveworts for the road. So, another familiar face in here. Ancient hero of Zamor. So, still gonna be weak to lightning and fire. I'm gonna throw on fire grease, honestly, just because I hate this guy. I don't have one. I'm gonna make one. Kind of annihilated, I'm not gonna lie. With the ancient dragon knight Kristoff ashes. Sorry, I just hate that guy. So back here's a couple root resins too if you really want them. So let's see. There are a few more locations in Altus that we haven't hit yet. They're kind of scattered all over the place. Altus Plateau also has a lot of weird winding pathways and steep changes in elevation that kind of force you to clear it in a weird order, so that was sort of bound to happen either way. But next up, I originally had Wraithblood Ruins. They're all the way up here. But I decided to hit Wraithblood Ruins earlier in the walkthrough in light of needing to progress Varia's questline a bit. But I've been purposely skipping over Dominula Windmill Village because there is an opportunity to summon Millicent for the boss fight there once we progress her questline just a bit more. It's not necessary for her questline, but since you can do it, and it's one of the few Millicent interactions of the game, might as well hold off a bit just so you have the option of summoning her if you want it. To actually make the progress I'm referring to for her quest, we have to clear Shaded Castle, which is this big thing right here. It's a minor legacy dungeon, which means it's kind of an ordeal, which is why I'm saving it for more or less next episode probably. Same category as like Carria Manor, Redmane Castle, Castle Morn, that kind of thing. So yeah, for right now I guess warp to Road of Iniquity side path. There's still a couple of random pieces of loot over here we can grab before we move on, so we'll do that. First of which is this caravan, which is just gonna give us the same hammer that the Invader and Wraithblood Ruins dropped. But I guess having 2 of them never hurt. Great stars. And then if you follow the road a bit further and look off to the right, kind of around this corner, there's a crashed caravan over here. Behind it we got a pumpkin head, who you can actually just ignore. Steals gravel stones and run away. And then yeah, I think that's actually pretty much it. So warp to Altus Highway Junction. Go do Wraithblood Ruins now. They're straight ahead there. We were running towards just then, if you haven't yet, but all that's really there is an invader, little boss downstairs, and a bunch of dogs and slimes. There's not really much to it. You can go back in the walkthrough to find the tutorial for it if you need to, though. So now we'll go do Perfumer's Grotto, which is basically just that. It's like the Elden Ring equivalent of that section in like big department stores that just has a bunch of perfume and cologne and you just can't breathe at all. It's like a Sephora. I think that's how you pronounce it. I honestly have no idea. But we need to get to the top of this hill, and the only challenge to that is walking right this way. Oh, there's a smaller one too. You know how it is with these bears. He might let us through. Yes, we got lucky today. And just sneak right past this flower into the cave to get to Perfumer's Grotto. Seems like a lantern situation. Turns out there are some perfumers in the Perfumer's Grotto. Just gonna grab this loot, probably get poisoned, that's alright. And I'm gonna leave the flower alone, honestly. Got some random stuff to pick up around here if you want it. Do this with the flame cleanse me. And then into the next room. Drop down here to the left. It's got a couple chests. Another perfume bottle. And some more living jar shards. I don't think there's even anything else in here, honestly. No, I didn't think so. Another cleanse while we're at it. And then out here is that malformed star from earlier. So, you can kill it if you want. It doesn't drop anything. So, I'm just gonna send it on past without getting knocked off, hopefully. Some Martaria leaves there. Miranda powder, warming stone, golden rune 5, a couple more golden rune 5s. Some little walking around money for us to apologize for what's about to happen, I guess. So this is a dual boss fight featuring an omen killer and a Miranda flower. I'm gonna make another fire grease, honestly, just for the hell of it. This whole cave just kind of feels like someone going to creative mode and playing with the spawn eggs in Minecraft. It just doesn't make sense. There's so much random stuff in here. But in this fight, what is there really to say about either of these enemies? It'd be 10 times cooler if you could bait the omen killer into just cooking the flower with its fire breath, but you can't. Fire attacks interrupt the poison on these flowers, so you know that would have been cool. Something interesting to add to this fight, but yeah, I don't know. Just split them up. Something, summon something, maybe. I don't know, man. That's the guide. It is what it is. Get the Great Omen Killer Cleaver from that. And what time is it? How long have we been going? Really not nearly as long as I thought this would take. So let's do I No. Yes. No. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Shaded Castle. Why not? Warp to Old Altus Tunnel. And then take the lift out. We then go northeast. There you are. Grab the golden rune 3 and then just continue following the path up the hill and through this pass to reach the fairy unicorn meadow with the gumdrop candy castle. Wait. No, never mind. This is Shaded Castle. I knew this didn't look quite right. So... yeah. To get in, you pretty much just look for any spot where the wall is low enough to jump over on torrents. But we're gonna go northeast because there's a grace over that way. I guess first run straight ahead. There's an item here. Golden rune 3, and then follow the wall over to the right. Hop in right here. Grab this while we're at it. Don't touch me. Up here for the grace. Okay. Deep breath. This place is pretty awful for melee builds, I'm not gonna lie. There is an enemy type right around the corner called the Depraved Perfumer, which is one of the most frustrating enemies to fight in the game with melee. So it goes without saying, if you have any ranged elements to your build, maybe consider bringing a couple extra cerulean flasks for some extra FP in this area so you can cast a little bit more than usual if you're kind of running a bit of a hybrid melee caster build. Also, there are revenants here, of course, so throw on a healing incantation if you don't have it. Flame cleanse me while you're at it because of all the poison. Yeah, we got perfumers, revenants, clean rot knights, Miranda flowers, big and small, pages, wraith callers, dogs, slugs. Am I forgetting anything? Putrid corpses right next to me. Oh, and basilisks. So, yeah, we've got the whole roster of annoying enemies. Just D1 pieces of shit. And if that wasn't enough, the whole area is a poisonous cesspool. This place is a nightmare. Anyway, as for melee users, or melee sufferers, whichever term you prefer, the Depraved Perfumers are basically just going to spam a combination of AoE explosive perfume clouds and dagger attacks. When you do get close enough to hit them, they have a very annoying tendency to backstep away immediately. Luckily, they don't have too much health and they're pretty easy to stagger, especially with jumping attacks. That being said, for some insane reason, they have quite a bit of poise when in the middle of their perfuming animation, which makes it kind of difficult or at least inconsistent to interrupt. Very staggerable at any other time though. Ideally, you avoid their attacks while rolling forward and get a really quick hit in to start a stun lock chain the second you get close. So any attacks with a solid quick forward lunge to cover the distance would be useful. Sure, there are a decent handful of weapons and Ash of War combinations that do the trick for that, so obviously use whatever works best for you. Speed is pretty much the key though. That being said, one other recommendation I do have is to equip a shield, and you can throw the Stormwall Ash of War on it, which I'm debating whether or not I want to do. Maybe I will. I like having the no skill thing on my shield so I can use my katana's Ash of War, but Stormwall goes kind of hard here, I can't lie. Basically what it does is when you parry with it, it makes this wind, right? And it'll basically just blow away any perfume that's close enough to hurt you when it explodes every time you parry, which is a pretty spammable animation, thankfully. On top of that, since the wind comes from a parry animation, it also works as a regular, just melee weapon parry, which means if you play really aggressively and keep running straight up into the perfumer's face, you can counter their perfume clouds and straight up just parry them when they swing with the dagger, which will obviously allow you to follow up with a crit for a quick kill. What else? They can also heal themselves with a flask up to 3 times. So even though you can't actually get close to them to keep up pressure, make sure to stay close to them to keep up pressure. Got it? Okay, cool. So, turn left, follow the ramparts to meet the first one. Sorry I talked about them forever, but I hate them. I hate them a lot. It's not going well already. I knew this would happen. I hate you, dude. The worst. Totally forgot about that guy. I just got away with murder. Nah, it's gonna come back to bite me. Watch him heal again. Dude, oh, I hate them. Don't even think about it. Golden Rune 6, and we got his headscarf and robe. That's kind of, that's pretty solid drip, actually. I might... Yeah, that goes crazy. I feel like we need a helmet now. Nah. Ridiculous. We'll figure it out later. This is the closest I can get to wearing their skin though, so for the rest of Shaded Castle at the very least, I'm wearing this. So, once he's dead, or once they're both dead, we're gonna head down here. To the poisoned slop for the glass shard and some poisoned bone darts. Get ambushed by some slugs. Alright, didn't really play that right. Let's try rolling. I didn't play that right again. We're gonna try jumping again. Oh wait, there's stairs. Just pretend you guys didn't see that. Get the champion song painting. Now we're gonna start moving back towards the Grace. And if you look over to the right, there's an item on the rocks. So to get that, you have to jump up the rocks from the wall and make your way around the right side to actually get it. So just take this really slow. Whew. What words could convey how I'm feeling right now? Back to the Grace, I suppose. There we go. Stone Sword Key. I would just let it go, but like, after the Stone Sword Key fiasco earlier, I can't ignore one of these. So let's drop down here, deal with the Wraith Caller. And honestly, you can rest up now as well, because we're not going to go back over towards those perfumers again. So if you, like myself, wasted a bunch of heals on that, good time to rest. Alright, so once you're all rested up and ready to go, we can drop back down into the poison pit here and start dealing with Wraith Callers. Those two over there aren't guarding anything, so I'm just going to ignore them. And we can climb up here. Grab a smithing stone 4. And then there's going to be one more right around the corner. Alright, cool. Then we can just kind of ignore the slugs and everything and dip on over to the left over here. It's the jump. Get ambushed by a basilisk over here. Give the other ones a chance to hop down and come to us. That one was guarding a golden rune 6. There's going to be a couple more up here to ambush us. I might... Hold on, I'm just going to put this on for a second. Very real danger of deathblight right now. Okay. Feeling good. We'll take it back off. Smithing stone 5. And then if you hop up here, in the back right corner, there's a couple drawstring fire grease back there, but 2 more basilisks to deal with if you hop back there, so I'm not going to bother. And then up ahead, up here, there's another perfumer. Can you get back up here? I don't think you can. We might have just lucked out. There's another one immediately off to the left up here. Sometimes if you immediately cut right while sneaking, he won't see you. So good. This is the best day ever. Alright. Literally just run all the way to the end. It's going to be another perfumer here. Smithing stone 5. Now, from here on out, pretty much until we get to the next grace, if you die, I would actually recommend... We're going to get sent back to the Shaded Camp Castle Ramparts grace that we just came from, but I'd actually recommend just jumping back outside the castle wall, hopping on Torrent, and then entering from the northwest entrance of this place. It's the same deal as how we got in here originally. There's just a set of rocks to climb up that lead to a broken section of wall right up in the northwest corner that way, past the giant Miranda flower. I'll point it out when we get there as well. But with that, we can make our way back to the main courtyard area. Don't... Oh, he has his back turned. Literally the best day ever. Oh, he made it back up here. This is the worst day ever. Don't heal. I hate you. Okay. He salvaged it. It's all good. Okay, so I guess I don't really need to be back up there. Once you're back down in the poison, hug the left wall. You need some FP, drink up, and as we get to the end of this roof, just be ready to sprint the rest of the way to take out a Revenant. Alright, Ghost Glovewort 4, Somber Smithing Stone 5. This is the poison that kind of sticks to you, so we'll have to cleanse it there. Grab the Beast Blood, Flame Cleanse me, and then I'm going to hop over to the wall. Cut left. neutralizing boluses, and then you can go all the way down the other way and take out the putrid corpses along the way. Okay, and then down there's a bunch of like rot Miranda flowers, so we're gonna take you out, and then hopefully we shouldn't be in combat anymore and we can open the item crafting menu. Still in combat from something. Here's the other entrance though. You wrap around on Torrent, you can hop up here and get into the castle that way. And we are... oh, we're out of combat. What sees us? Alright, tell you what we can do. Kill time. Run back here, there's a starlight shard to pick up. Now we can make something. Okay, so craft really as many fire pots as you can. Probably need more than 9, honestly. I'm going to just throw... I don't know if I can throw those away. Throw a lightning pot away. I still don't think 10 will be quite enough, but it'll get us close enough. So equip those. And we're basically just going to use these to kill all the flowers from the roof with fire, because that's a lot better than hopping down into the rot cloud. Cut these guys down and then just lay into it. Almost got there. Probably needed like 12 or 13. But didn't get Scarlet Rot, so works for me. Smithing Stone 5. And then make your way back up top. And we're just gonna run all the way back to this little platform right here. Go up the ladder. There's gonna be another putrid corpse hanging out right at the top. Be prepared for that. Another one down here. And then run left, and we're gonna go all the way to the ends. Take out all these guys along the way. Check the corners too. Try to grab you. Try to push you off the ledge. Having none of that. It's cleaner at night. If you're quick, you can sprint and get a backstab. And then into the room that she was guarding. Open the chest for the Valkyrie's prosthesis, which is the main reason we're here, aside from just, you know, clearing this for walkthrough purposes. But this item will allow us to continue Millicent's questline, and it opens her up to be summoned. She has an arm, so she can hold a sword again, and she can fight, which means she can help us. So now hop over here, onto this roof, next roof, next roof, up here for Golden Rune 4. And then a grace. There's really no harm resting, I suppose. Not gonna respawn anything that we need to see again, so... now from up here, I would say if you have some ranged options, just kill everything you possibly can. Mounted Wraith Caller, putrid corpses. Because when we get in front of this tree next to us, we get ambushed by a bunch more putrid corpses. And there's really no room to work with over here, no room to maneuver that isn't going to poison us, so... And it's the thick poison too that we can't run through. Let's grab that to trigger the ambush. Alright, and then make your way across. Will flame cleanse me. Do not go up that staircase right in front of us. Cut over to the right. I'll explain why in a few minutes here. For now, just take out all these guys. And then there's some depraved perfumers up there who are probably going to hop down and engage. But there's a Wraith Caller in here. So we were quick enough that they didn't see... No, they're still going to. Alright, but they're gonna hop down. If you hide in this building, they shouldn't be able to get you, and they'll hang out in the poison long enough that they should get poisoned, and then you can just kind of let them... I shouldn't have said that they can't get to you. What I meant is you can prolong that, delay them, and make them hang out in the poison longer. But hopefully that procs and then they'll just die. Or they give up. This is new. That works for me, I'm not gonna chase. Actually, we do need to go up there, so... I don't know. I would like to get them poisoned, because it makes this a lot easier. Might be able to get a backstab though, since they're backtracking. Take that one out. Don't run too far the other way because there's another one at the end of the rampart in that direction. And hop down here. Make him come down. Maybe. There you are, see him moving. Yeah, usually they will like aggro while you're over here. And then try to kill you with like perfume from outside this building. A lot like this, and you can hide in there and eventually you should get poisoned. Or I'll get poisoned. Unless this has been patched and they cannot be poisoned anymore. I wrote this a long time ago, so it's possible. Let me try Poison Mist. There you go. So, I mean, that's not really conclusive evidence that the strat that I was going for still works. So you might have to scrap for this and fight them normally. But if you're really struggling, it's worth a try, I suppose. I don't want to fight him where I can't maneuver. Let's make a break for the ladder, actually. That's the tough part, is he can't sustain himself for quite a while because of those heals. In the meantime, run over here. Smithing stone 5, that'll be behind a bunch of crates normally. That's not what I wanted to see at all. Oh, he fell again. Okay. Yeah, not how this usually goes for me. See, there you are. Nice. Long live the king. Alright, now over here, you can kick down this ladder. This will give us a nice shortcut back to the Rampart's Grace on that little building over there. And then another perfume bottle. And lastly, before I forget about it, if you're struggling to make the jump over the Stone Sword Key, you can hop up on this rock from another angle over here, which is definitely the way it was meant to be done. But you can make the jump from where I showed you earlier, so that's why I showed you. Not gonna mess with that guy. With that, we can warp back to the inner gate. Well, actually, right in there, that archway up ahead, that's where the Grace is, right? And then you can see right above my character's head, there's a ladder, and then there's that little staircase I told you not to go up. So over there at the top of that staircase, there is a mounted Wraith Caller, and then when you get close to him, there's a Royal Revenant. And all they're guarding is 3 rot grease, so I really don't think it's worth the trouble of fighting them both at the same time. And the Revenant spawns in at a point that you can't really reach him in time if you want to like sprint over and try to spawn kill him with a healing incantation like we normally do with them, so you kind of have to like straight up fight him. And it's a Royal Revenant, which is like a stronger version, and it also spits poison, so for 3 rot grease it's really just not worth the effort in my opinion. But back there, kill that dog. You can also interact with that phantom. Gives you a little foreshadowing for the boss fight up ahead. Mentions how someone took their like treasured sword or something. I can't remember the exact wording. And then also something about like a severed Valkyrie, I believe, is the word he uses. So those are both kind of cool details. I'll point out the payoff for that knowledge in a second. But climb up here. Perfumer's Cookbook 2, and then back down. Off to the right, dog. Hefty beast bone. And then Clean Rod Knight, who, yeah, usually sees you, so tough luck. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. These things are always such a problem. Alright, once that's dealt with, hopefully you don't die or get knocked off the bridge. And running here, there's gonna be a dude hiding behind the statue. We tried. Gold Firefly, and then a page upstairs. And then once they're dead, you go outside and there's gonna be a clean rot knight. If you walk out just slightly, you'll either aggro the 2 dogs, the clean rot knight, or if you're lucky, all 3 at the same time. Don't let that hit you. You'll get scarlet rot. Yeah, we got all 3. So just backtrack in here, use the stairs, use the statues. Okay, we're getting scarlet rot. Obviously, just wanted to demonstrate that for walkthrough purposes. Come on. Alright. Just me and you now. Oh, wait. No, okay. I was like, how did I not have enough faith for Flame Cleanse me anymore? Anyway, once those guys are dead, out here to the right, one more dog. Corpse of the Smithing Stone 5. And then on this opposite side over here, you can kick down a ladder. Will give us a shortcut kind of back to the inner gate grace. Not really, it's all the way over there. But you can climb down that ladder, run across here to where these putrid corpses were, and then up this ladder, and then you can get to the boss without having to go through all the enemies that we just fought. Go up the ladder, or the lift rather, and probably, well, I don't want to say probably. Maybe you're not as bad as I am and you have more heals right now, but this is a boss fight, so if you need to go back and get more heals, then feel free to do so. But this is going to be Elemer of the Briar, who is actually just the bell-bearing hunter that we've encountered in a couple places as a night boss already. At a few locations in the game, as you know if you've been watching the walkthrough, the NPCs will disappear at night and instead the bell-bearing hunter will appear. So as usual, boss cannot be backstabbed. He tries to bait you into it at the beginning of the fight. He starts with his back turn, but it doesn't work. But you can get him in an infinite shield bash loop if you stand directly behind him, which is really nice because the shield slam has one of, if not simply the longest recovery time of all his attacks. Chances are it's not going to be the only attack you see though. You'll have to deal with the dancing blade attacks, which despite glowing red and looking very magical, they only deal physical damage, so they are completely blockable with a 100% physical damage resist shield. You'll want some pretty solid guard boost and plenty of stamina though, because he hits super hard. Barricade, Shield, Ash of War, always a safe bet if you want to block something big like a boss. And whether you stay right behind him or not, like I'm about to do, try to stay as close as possible either way, because his regular swings are a lot easier to read and react to than the dancing blade stuff that he'll use at medium and long range. So yeah, I mean, all that stuff is, you already knew that if you've watched all the episodes, but in case you haven't seen any of the early episodes where we fought one of these guys, figured I would recap that. There's the shield bash, going for an attack or two, and just make sure your forehead is pressed right against his back, and you can pretty much keep him locked in this loop for the remainder of the fight. You can break out of it if your positioning isn't perfect, like so, but that's fine because you can just stand behind him again and get him right back into it. Watch out for that grab attack. Before I heal, I'm just gonna try to get, well, that works too. Usually I'll try to get him back into the shield bash loop. That's unfortunate. Just because he does have like a pretty quick cooldown, or just like not a cooldown basically, between his attacks. When you are not having him do the shield bash, so I like to just force him back into that, so I have a chance to heal. And make sure you roll it too when he has the shield bash, because that little shockwave will hit you. And sometimes he has like a little follow-up, like magic blast after he presses the shield down. I think he charges up the shield like visibly though before he does that, if he's gonna do the follow-up. I think it'll glow red from the start if memory serves. And down he goes. So you get the Mirage Executioner's Sword and the Briar Great Shield. And then that's going to be another legendary armament for us. Grace will spawn. And then that Phantom I mentioned that says something about them taking the prized sword or treasured sword or whatever. The Mirage Executioner's Sword was like a treasured, I don't know, heirloom, I guess, of the family that lived here. And they also had some relation to Melania, who was she has that like prosthetic arm, so that Phantom was mentioning the severed Valkyrie. He was talking about Melania, and sure enough, there's like a portrait of her right here. It's kind of a cool detail, I think. Now, speaking of Marias stuff, we're back to Shaded Castle Ramparts while we're in the area. Might as well clean this up. And we're gonna hop back outside. Mount up Torrent. Can grab that Starlight Shard out here if you didn't get it earlier. The one that was right behind the castle over here if you wrap all the way around. But in the clearing up ahead is a hostile NPC, basically right in the middle, somewhat hidden among some statues. And there's also a sleeping golem in the back left. You can lock onto her from super far away. But there are a few different ways to do this. You could lure the NPC back towards us with a bow to get her away from the golem. You could hug the left wall and take out the golem without alerting the NPC. Or you could try frenzying the golem with crystal darts, hope it hits the NPC more than it hits you. You don't even really have to frenzy it because the golem, you know, collateral damage either way. And unfortunately, while that strat is definitely possible, that last option definitely works a lot better in theory because the golem usually just doesn't seem as committed to killing an NPC as it would be you or I. And there's also definitely a version of this fight where the NPC ends up being pretty good at fighting golems, so keep that in mind. It's not a terrible strategy if you're a caster though. You could also just take on both at once and stay on torrents. I find that works pretty well. Pretty nasty NPC, very quick. Got this rapier that builds up Scarlet Rot. So very, very kiteable since they're on foot. So you can kind of, I don't know, run around and try to coerce the golem into attacking them. And if the golem doesn't want to attack them, still got some very reliable hit and run action on torrent. Down she goes. Get the Anspur Rapier, the Mariah set. Down goes the golem, and lastly up here, Smithing Stone 5. And then for the final thing before I wrap up this episode, warp back to Erdtree Gazing Hill and we'll give Millicent the Valkyrie's prosthesis and progress her questline a bit more here.
Now she's passed.
Give her the prosthesis.
I think it might be. It might be perhaps then.
Alright, make sure dialogue's exhausted, and then Gallery's gonna have some more to say too, so warp back to Celia Understair. speak to him, tell him you gave Millicent the prosthesis,
Like her.
and then choose about Millicent.
What a one in truth she might very.
And then at this point, if you go to study incantations, he'll let you buy pest threads, and if you buy that, you will immediately offer up some information about Melania. So go ahead and choose that option, exhaust the dialogue, and you will get the desperate prayer gesture from him for listening to that. And that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. So next time we will finish up Altus Plateau, and hopefully this video is helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.